Hey everybody, it's Bull Boom Bear Bust. It is Monday, June 21st, 2021. Hope everybody's doing good. Today I wanted to get back into the used car situation. Now we started talking about this last week and many times before this, but recently there's been a lot more news with the rising prices in used cars and the inventory supply crunch with the chip shortage and all that. And myself as a driver of older vehicles, my newest vehicle is actually a 2014. I find this news on the trend of people keeping their car longer very interesting. And there's some new information and some new charts out on this. And we're going to go over some information here. So, first of all, to sum up what's happening, we're seeing record rising prices in automobiles, new and used. In some cases, people with older vehicles are seeing their car value increase faster than they depreciate, which is something unprecedented as far as I have studied here. Typically, the older a vehicle gets, the less valuable it gets, unless it's a rare collector vehicle or something like that, or unless it's restored or souped up in some other way to drastically change the value. But now the rising prices are outpacing the normal deflation that we see in cars. You drive them, they get older, they get more miles on them, they get more beat up. It's a trend that's really never been seen before here in the United States, and many people are predicting that once the chip shortage situation is resolved, then we're going to see a lot of new cars hit the market, and they're saying that that's going to take some of the pressure off the used car prices. But regardless of what's going to happen, here's what's happened so far, and there's been some recent news out about this. People are keeping their used cars longer. Many people are stepping back. They're not buying. They're not just going to go out there and pay whatever is the asking price for cars. Some people are, but more people are choosing to hold on to their older car, and that's going to cause a repair boom. So you could see a lot more people now learning maybe a useful skill, what people should have learned maybe a long time ago, and I actually need to learn more of myself, is doing my own car maintenance. Now, I've done a few basic things through the years. I've changed my own brakes, just new pads, nothing as far as resurfacing brakes or anything like that. Changed spark plugs, real basic stuff, putting in a new starter. And for me, nothing as far as like engine rebuilding, but just basic things that you could take out an old part and put a new one in. But this recent article out of Bloomberg sums it up pretty well. Cars on U.S. roads reach record age, setting up sales and repairs. The average age of U.S. car now on the road is 12.1 years. So it's looking like a line of work to get into that's going to be in high demand is an auto mechanic. Now, here's the thing. It's going to get more and more difficult for people to start and keep a business going in the United States. We're going to see higher taxes. It's going to be more and more difficult for people to, especially in the mechanic field, to make it with the higher cost of living and the higher taxes. They're going to have to charge more for their repairs. Now, the mechanic I go to, it's a bit of an older guy. He's in his early 60s, I believe. He's still in really good shape. But he says that prices are rising for him also, the cost of parts, and everyone is suffering under higher gas prices. But the last time I paid him a visit, he did say he's seeing more business, more people bringing their cars in for repairs, and more people deciding to do bigger and more costly repairs versus in the past when you might see a lot of people just say, okay, let's just junk this vehicle, let's go out and buy a new one. Well, now it's not going to be that simple to go out and buy a new car unless you want to take on huge amounts of debt at these prices. And just like we saw a correction in lumber here recently, I wouldn't be surprised that when the chip shortage is resolved, when that backlog supply gets back on the market, that we could see also a correction in the price of cars. Now, we're going to have to see what happens here. We're going to keep an eye on prices for you. As of this recording, prices show no signs of slowing down. They're still rising, and there's not much signs of the shortage being taken care of. Now, let's get into a couple other discussions here and some other news. Let's talk about housing real quick, and let's look at this one-year chart from the Fed. Remember, there was talk earlier this year of mortgage rates rising. People said this is the end, the housing bubble is going to go bust. And I said, well, the Fed, they can control mortgage rates, and most of you know that by now. What are we seeing now? We're seeing a multi-month low. We're down to about 2.93, and this is the lowest in many, many months, going back to February. Now, will the Fed let rates go higher? This could be, again, an uptrend. We saw the big surge, kind of a big surge, but still low compared to the 50-year look-back period. But we saw this big increase, and it did cause some people to predict that this was the end of the housing market and the housing bubble was going to bust. I said, well, they're probably not going to let it go that quickly. If they do allow rates to rise, it's more going to be a stair step type of thing where you'll see it go up, down a little bit, up some more. Do I think the Fed's going to do that? No, I think there's too many eyes on the Fed right now. Even though most people in the United States really have no idea how it works, a lot more people are paying attention how much power the Fed really has, how much control they really have over this economy and mortgage rates and markets, including the housing market. All right, also automobiles. Let's go back to automobiles real quick here. So even automobiles, yes, there are shortages and more people are bidding for a lower supply of cars, making the price go high pretty quickly. But if the banks weren't allowed to loan out endless amounts of money, you would also see much, much lower car prices, right? So a lot of this, it all goes back to the backbone of the banking system, and that's the fractional reserve lending system, where money's created out of thin air in digital form and handed out to people as loans, as debt. Let's wrap it up with the markets right here. Quick shot here out of Yahoo. Today, Monday, June 21st, 2021. All major indexes in the green. Let's go to the Dow, up almost 500 points as of this recording. Remember, we had the taper talk there and the Fed talking about 2 maybe small interest rate hikes in a couple years from now in 2023, and that was enough to spook the markets, right? So how insane is it, how sad is it that talks of 2 small interest rate hikes years from now were enough to cause the biggest sell-off in the Dow Jones since October of last year? Not just the Dow Jones, but other indexes as well. Well, please let me know your opinion on that one down in the comments, but take a look at this here to the right here. Oil, almost $73 per barrel. Just these gas prices alone should make a lot of people second guess their desire to go out and buy a new vehicle right now. And a lot of the jobs that are reopening and businesses that are reopening require people to go there in person. Remember, the leisure and hospitality industry, not too many people can work at home unless you're just in an office job. But a lot of people commuting are going to feel the pinch from these gas prices. We see homeless is getting worse. Another recent survey here. Another big increase in annual homeless counts. And we see no sign of this letting up. There's nothing being discussed right now out of the lawmakers that are really going to be any long-term solutions. There's a lot of money printing, rescue programs happening. And they're saying that raising taxes on the working class is going to fix this, but got bad news for a lot of people. It's not going to fix it. It's just going to make things more difficult and get more people choosing not to work, and a lot more people just throwing their hands up in the air, homeless continuing to increase, and it's only going to get worse. It may look better from time to time when they show you these numbers, but keep preparing, folks, because there's no sign of anything coming in to save this train wreck. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Stay well. Bye for now. Peace.